Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning. It depends on what time it is where you are. Well, this is the first video, and in this video I'll talk a little bit about my type. So, first of all, I'm quite certain that I'm a P-type. I'm pretty open to possibilities. I delay taking decisions as much as possible. I have problems throwing things, I always keep them. I always have in mind in case that or that happens. So it's quite obvious to me that I am P. So being P means that my dominant function is a function of perception. So it's either intuition or sensation. We'll say that it is intuition. So it will be either extraverted intuition dominant or introverted intuition dominant. Well, let's examine each of these possibilities. I very strongly doubt, and it is even unlikely that my dominant function is extraverted intuition. NE people are all the time jumping from an idea to another, from a concept to another, from a way of doing something to another, and I see that NE is too fast for it to be my dominant function. Plus, on the other hand, I do not recognize myself in the description of either of the profiles that are NE dominant, whether ENFP or ENTP. So these are two possibilities that are eliminated. Now let's examine closer the NI dominant types. Well, first you have the INTP, which is TE, and I strongly doubt having TE being used more than TI. I highly value TI, and I have talked a lot in the past about how strong my TI is and how much stronger it is than TE, so I see that INTP is not really probable. Plus, Sergei himself doubts that. Well, for INFP, if we look at the uncovered description of the INFP, we see that it doesn't fit me at all. First of all, I do not read a lot. Second of all, I do not have problems in understanding, especially not in mathematics, which is my field. Well, I seem to understand pretty well how mathematics works. I have a real deep understanding of why we do each thing and how, as a whole, how does it function, how do proofs work. So I would say that it is not very likely, even though it's not completely impossible, that I am an I dominant. Now let's move to sensation dominant types. For introverted sensation dominant types, you have ISTP. What has been said about INTP also applies to ISTP, but the description of ISTP seems to fit me pretty well. And for ISFP, well, the same thing that has been said about INFP also applies for ISFP for me. I do not have problems with understanding, and we can add to that something else, which is that I really get bored during my free time. I'm not really good at finding what to do when I have nothing to do, I'm not that joyful, really. I do not know how to organize my leisure time. And finally, the extraverted sensation types. ESFP seems very little probable since it is TIPOLR. So remains ESTP, which has really high chances. I am saddest, that comes handy, using the words of Sergei. Plus, I seem to value TI a lot, and I seem to use it, and I enjoy the results of using TI. You know, once I put in my mind that I want to do some TI, I come up with results that I'm pretty satisfied with. Okay, so ESTP has very high chances of being me. Okay, it is the type that has the most chances.